children, today we are going to learn a lesson number 2 in social science, lesson number 2, geographical features and prehistoric India. As you know, to study history we should study about this, all the geographical features of the place. So, India is called as a peninsula because the India's border is covered by 3 sides by water and 1 side by land. As it is the physical map of India. It is the physical map of India, and in this you can see that here on the top you can see the Himalayas. On the north side Himalayas are there, and in the south is covered by the oceans and seas. Here it is Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean and Arabian Sea. The three sides of India were covered by water and 1 side of India was covered by the land. The neighboring countries of India were Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan and Myanmar. Neighboring countries of India were Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan and Myanmar. And in the present, India was divided in many parts. It is known as states and union territories. There are 29 states in India and 7 union territories. The northwestern part of India, it was the place where it is land covered and the many countries were covered. So the Bolan and Khyber valleys were allowed people to attack on India. Even the north side of India we can see in the Himalayas are there in the northern side of India. After the Himalayas we can see the plains. India is divided in the 4 geographical features. One is Himalayas, another one is plains and desert and the Deccan Plateau. So Himalayas help India to protect from the enemies. So Himalayan mountains, bigger mountains in the world. As you know, Mount Everest, it is in the Himalayas. It is the highest mountain in the world. So highest mountain peaks are there in Himalayas, and these Himalayan mountains were always covered with the ice. Because of this, the people are unable to attack from that side. And in the south side, our country is surrounded by the water, seas and oceans. So because of that, from south side also attacks were not possible, but only the 2 valleys which are known as Bolan and Khyber valleys, these 2 valleys were helpful to the other people to attack on India. Indo-Gangetic plains, most rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, the rivers were flowing in the northern side and they create the plains. As the river, water of the river bringing the silt and it is depositing in the plains. Because of that, this Indo-Gangetic plain is very fertile. So because of this fertile, most of the people if we see through the prehistoric period, the people were living near when the man started living on one place, or when he started living in a group, he found the area where the bank of the rivers where he get the water easily, or which is the fertile land. Because of that only we can see that Indus Valley civilization and the Vedic civilization, they explored in this place, in the plains of India, in the northern plains of India. And in between the India, there is one river, that is Narmada river, which divides the southern part in 2 parts. One is Deccan Plateau and another one is Malwa Plateau. Deccan Plateau Plateau and the Malwa Plateau were the very important place because Mauryas and Guptas were ruled from this. Here also many rivers flow and it is also very fertile. Not only fertile, we can get many ores in these mountains, so that it is also very important place in India. Next, coastal lines. See, India is three-fourths of the India's land is covered by the water. So, if the people want to travel from the India to other countries or the other places, it was not possible because only from the land place, only from the land road they were traveling earlier. But when the man was invented ships, the people started exploration. So they were coming by the ship. When they were coming by the ship to India for the business purpose or for the whatever it may be, when they are coming, their ports were very important. So all the ports were situated in the coastal line. Again, this coastal line is also divided into two parts. One is eastern coastal line and another one is western coastal line. Eastern coastal line is 6,100 kilometer length. It has the length of 6,100 kilometer and it is known as Coromandel Coast. Eastern coastal line, the other name of eastern coastal line, Coromandel coastal line, it is known as Konkana and Malabar. In the Maharashtra, it is known as Konkana. In Kerala and Tamil Nadu, it is known as Malabar. So, western coastal line also very big, and all the ports you can see in the coastal line and eastern coastal line only. So, India has all the features. It has the mountains also. Even it has rivers, plains, desert, and even it has the plateau also. Because of this, India, the people, prehistoric period we can see in the India. Prehistoric period means the starting stage of India. When man came on earth, he was not knowing how he was living. He was not wearing any clothes. He was not knowing to build the house, even huts also, even tents also. He was not knowing to wear the clothes. Even he was not knowing to prepare the food. Whatever he is getting in the nature, he was adopting on that. Means only he is taking the fruits, he is eating, and even he is killing the animals, and he was eating flesh of the animals. And when the time passed, the people started living together. This prehistoric period, it is known as Stone Age period. Means all the weapons which were used for the hunting, they were made by the stone. So prehistoric period is known as Stone Age also. All the weapons means for digging the soil, even for killing the animals, even cutting the flesh, he was using the stone tools. So because of this, it is prehistoric period is known as Stone Age. We can see many sites of prehistoric period in Karnataka also, even in Uttar Pradesh. Many places we can see the prehistoric period as a sites of stone tools.